Hello everyone, welcome to the another video on Helm in practice with example. In today's video, we will be looking into named template. Named template is a reusable block of code that is defined once in a file and that can be used at a multiple location. If we take the analogy, it can be said as it is a function, but in functions in other programming language are more powerful. The name templates are just text manipulation that can be used at a multiple location. We can give some name to the template and that can be used at a multiple locations. But it is important to keep in mind that name that we give is a global name. If you give a template name two times, then whichever is the same template name at two places, so whichever one is loaded last will be one is used. So that is why it is important that we provide some unique name. To provide the unique name to the template, generally we give a chart name and then we specify the name of the template. For example, if you look at it, this is the chart name and then you can provide your name of the template. So this is how we can give a name to the template. And this behavior is also true when we are creating a multiple version of the chart. For example, if you have defined one template in a version 1 and if you modify the same template in a version 2, then whichever will be loaded last will be used. So that is why here also you can, like, to differentiate is we can give some kind of name. For example, my chart version 1 and label my chart version 1 label, version 2 label. So this is how you can give a separate name to the template. So before we jump into creating a name template, I want to add one more thing. In a Helm chart, most files under the templates with a .yaml extension will be converted into the Kubernetes manifest files. There are two exceptions. One of them is a node.txt, and that about the node.txt we have discussed in one of the previous video. And another extension is underscore. The file name starts with the underscores. So any file that starts with the underscores will not be converted into the manifest Kubernetes manifest files, and these files will not be rendered to Kubernetes objects defined. With this, let's start creating a named template. So here what I have done is I have created a named template in Helm chart with the name Helm demo name template with the help of the Helm create, and removed all the things, all the files. I have removed most of the, like, values.yaml. I have made it empty. Chart.yaml, I just kept it like this, and everything inside that I removed and created one config.yaml file, the simple config.yaml file, and node.txt, everything I removed and just kept some information there. And there were some more information into the Helm underscore helper.tpl file. So this is the file that we will be creating a named template. So I have created this file and just removed everything from there. Now what we will start is we will start adding a name template here, and we will use this template into our config map. We can define a name template with a defined keyword. So I can say like Helm, so define, then I give some, as I was saying, that we can just give some name. So I'll take this name and then I said okay, labels, and like the way we were doing for other files as well, we also have to and this. Okay, so this is the template format that I have created. Now I will add some information. Let's say I want to create the name template for the labels, and then let's say generator is a help, and I just want to add a date. Okay, so this is my name template that I have created. And now I want to use this template into my config map. So I will take this name and I can go back into config map, and just below the config map I can use this with the start with the name template, and then I just add the name of this. So now anything that is defined inside this particular block will be rendered right here, and we will see how it gets rendered. We will render the template with Helm template command, Helm template, and then Helm demo name template. If we do like this, we'll be able to see details. So here, after Helm name template, whatever we have defined inside this block, like label, so the labels have come up here, the generator is the Helm and the date. So this is how we can render it. So we have defined a name template with a defined block, and then this later we move into our manifest file, the template manifest file, and we have used with the name template. So just we have given, so with a we define it, and with a template we can use it. So this is how we can use named template. So far we have used the object in a name template which does not need any kind of scope, like a release or chart or value object. So let us try to use that and see what happens. So release is, and then I can say define the version, not the release, let's say chart name. Okay, in chart version, so chart name and chart version, and let us try to see what happens. So here, even if I have defined the chart details, these details are not getting rendered here because these are the scope objects and it needs the scope. Here I just define the name of the template, but I did not provide any scope. So if I define the scope, let's say I want to define the top level scope, that is the current scope, that is a top level scope, and I can define it with the name, with the value dot, like this. And then if I try to use the template again, and let us see what happens. Now it is able to fetch the value for it from the chart dot name and also the version as well. So it is able to get me those details. So to use that, we have to provide, if we want to use any scoped variable, then we have to provide the scope, and this is how we can use that. We understood how to use template. Now I want to show you how we can use the another keyword include in a templates, namely template. So let me do one thing. I will add some values into values.yaml. So this is the Red Hood, image tag, deployment name and pod name. So these are the values I have added into my values.yaml. And in my name template I am creating one name template. So this is my name template. So it is, the name of the template is Helm demo name template and Red Hood, and I'm using the range with values dot, not my chart, but I think it's a Red Hood. So Red Hood, right? And now I'm just populating, I'm iterating through all the values and I'm just populating that. So it is just doing that, and this is the end of the range and this is the end of the defined. So I have defined this template. Now we will use this template in our config map. I will take the name here and I'll go into the config map and I want to add this into my data. So I go here and template and then the name, and as I am using the value object, right, this value object that I am using, so I have to put names, right? I have to add the scope variable. Now let me try to render it. So I will try to render that, and it is able to render all the values from here. It is going through each values from the Red Hood and it is populating like deployment name, image, pod name and the tag name. But the issue that we are seeing here is the values are not indented properly. So we want to indent the values properly. So how do we do it? So the way we can do it by adding the indent, and we want to add 2 indent, right? So let us try to run it one more time now. So if I try to run it now, it is giving me error. It is not able to render because when we use a template, it doesn't use the type string. And there is a nice article that I have found in a Stack Overflow. So let us go through that. Before looking into that, let me change this from template to include. Let me try to render it now. So now it is able to render it properly. So instead of a template, we use include here. So let us try to find it out, the difference between these two. What is the difference between template and include? So template is part of the core Helm text template language, and it always renders its results to the template output. It does not produce a value and its results cannot be captured in a variable or the include in a pipeline. So we cannot use pipeline or anything with a template, but include is a Helm extension. It captures the template output and return it as a string. So all the values that it is returning is as a string. So all the functions that we apply on a string, that can be applied. So that is why we are able to capture and use that value into values into our template values. If you look at it here, all the values that it is producing is deployment name and a value, key and the value, key and the value, key and the value. So all the values it is producing would be a type of the string, and then we can apply any pipe function on top of that. So we were able to use the pipe function and we were able to render it. Similarly, I should be able to render it here as well. So here if I want to render it needs how much? 2 plus it should be, if I look at it here, it should be 4, right? So here also it should be 4, and if I try to render it now, I should be able to see those values here as well. So now we are able to use with help of a include. So this is how we can use the template into our manifest files, and we should be able to make our manifest files reusables. All the templates we can define, name template we can define into some kind of underscore, and we can give any name. It doesn't matter that I just gave a name as a helpers.tpl, but it can be any name, it doesn't matter. And then we can use those value in any of the manifest files. So this is how we can work with a name template. I hope you have understood all the concepts that I was trying to make you understand, and thank you for watching this video.